Hello everyone, my name is Shivashankari. So today we will begin our environment session through Hello UPSC. As you know, Hello UPSC is striving hard to bring in accessible and quality education to all UPSC aspirants. So how shall we begin our environment session? So today will be the strategy discussion. So this is a part one of strategy discussion, and it will continue for 2 to 3 days. We'll be discussing the strategies, right? So it can be helpful for both the students who are beginners and those who are about to appear for the exams, right? So what is this so-called strategy discussion? In this session, I'm going to discuss about how UPSC has so far framed the questions from the environment subject. So what are the important topics? Which are the areas which should be given importance, right? Because most of the students, what they do is that uh, they are not from the science background, right? So they have very less understanding of environment, and in fear what they do, they try to compile a lot number of notes, or refer to the books which are very bigger in sizes, which are very complex, right? So they get totally deviated from the uh, UPSC, right? So first, in this, we'll begin how we have to handle this subject. For this, I'll give a formula. As you all know, two things which you have to keep in your hand is your syllabus and your old question paper, right? Now come here, I have already given the syllabus for you. So I'll go very slowly because environmental words are very hard to understand. For those who are from science background, it is easy. For the rest of the people, they don't understand at all. Here, I have made a classification based on the syllabus for your easy understanding, right? I have given both the syllabus, prelims as well as mains. So here I like to share a very important point. Many students say that, so what I should do for prelims, what I should do for mains preparation. So it's totally a misguidance. First, if you are ready for your mains, then automatically you're ready for your prelims also, right? And here, with respect to environment also, if you see, we cannot differentiate the prelim syllabus as well as the main syllabus, right? Because environment appears both in your preliminary paper as well as your mains paper, and UPSC also has given separate syllabus for it. But usually the questions comes from the entire syllabus, that you have to merge the prelim syllabus as well as the main syllabus in order to start your preparation about the subject, right? So if you see here, I hope you all can see this slide which is in front of you, right? And I have mentioned about the prelims as well as the main syllabus. In prelims, if you note, you can see there are three words which is given by UPSC itself: the environmental ecology, biodiversity, and the climate change. And with respect to mains, they have given conservation, environmental pollution. And 1 minute, I'll drag so that you can see the complete syllabus here. Okay. See, environmental pollution, and then degradation and environmental impact assessment. So students, you should understand, keep one thing in mind. Here, we cannot differentiate preliminary from mains. The main, one important thing where UPSC is giving importance is related to the problem area of specific topics as well as the solutions, right? If some problem is happening, then definitely there will be some solutions and all. With respect to environment, these solutions are nothing but the conservation bodies, the conservation acts, the policies, which are brought up by the government at the national and the international level in order to safeguard various ecosystems, that is various environment as well as the organisms which are living in those environment. Okay. So if you see here, so before going into our classification, I like to bring to your notice that this session is a regular environmental session. Okay, for those who have not yet began their preparation, or those who are having can't understand environment at all, if they are very blank, you can say, in environment, they can just follow this sessions in order to understand each and every word, as well as we will not never deviate from the UPSC okay, question pattern. So the classes will be most of all attached towards a question pattern only, but you will also have a clear cut understanding about each and every word which I mentioned in that, mentioned in our syllabus, and which is necessary for our UPSC question in order to attend the UPSC questions. But suppose if you're saying that I have done everything, I know all the basic words, I know the meaning of each and every environmental terms, and I also know about each and every topic, then you require updation, right, in order to attempt the 2020 preliminary paper. So for that, I am going to conduct a separate session. You can join in that, right? But now this is a strategy discussion class, so it is equally important for both of you. So come, we'll go into our strategy discussion, right? See, and you can see here, I have classified, right, the syllabus, entire syllabus I have merged and classified here, right? 1 minute, I'll drag so that you can easily see it. See here. So this is how we have classified, right? Now if you come again, first one, today we'll be discussing about this environmental ecology, because the entire environment I have differentiated into 3 main topics and the solutions for those problems which are occurring in the 3 main topics, that is divisions. First one is environmental ecology, as UPSC itself has mentioned. Second thing is related to biodiversity, and third thing is related to climate change, that is the environmental pollution and the other degradation activities of humans. And last one is, and the climate change. And the fourth one is the mitigation, prevention, conservation efforts undertaken by the national government and the international government and various non-governmental organizations also. And this is always no subcategory of this. We can call it as a subcategory because the solutions, this is also a solution part. So here, you'll most of all you'll come across the energy related solutions. Okay, then is new innovations which helps in treating pollutions, which helps in treating especially the pollutions, the air pollutions, the water pollutions. Okay, how we can eradicate, how we can remove the pollution level, how we can purify the air, how we can purify water. So some innovations which scientists discovers then and there, right? So this all will be clubbed under this topic, the environmental impact assessment and the sustainable development and all. So now come here, the first topic is environment ecology. And one more thing I like to bring to your notice is that each and every topic is interrelated and interconnected here. You cannot differentiate environmental ecology and put it somewhere, then biodiversity a separate topic, and then you cannot differentiate even the climate change from it, right? So everything is interlinked and interconnected, because once when you go into this, you'll understand it, right? First we'll discuss about the environmental ecology. This is our topic today. So let me drag to the second page, right? See, you can see here, this is environmental and ecology. Environmental ecology. Okay, so here see here, under this, what are the things which you will study? Because there are lot number of things, n number of things which are given by various books which is available in the market. The big book, they compile a lot of things under this topic. But what is necessary, what is required in order to attempt your questions is much important than studying those bulky books. For that only I have made it very easy. And see, under this, first you will be studying like the terms associated with your environment. Generally, all those terms which you are going to face in your forthcoming classes will be discussed here, like what is environment, what is ecology. So environment, you all know. So here I'll be defining in this even strategy discussion, I will give a brief description about each and every term. The elaborate discussion will be done when we start our regular classes. Okay. So first, like what is environment? The thing which surrounds us is called as our environment, like that. We can define it like that. Then what is ecology? Ecology is nothing but a study which is teaching us that it's a field of biology. Also, we can call it that it's a field of biology which tells about the interaction of one organism with the other organisms and with its environment, right? And also, if you see next, so I'm defining like this, environment. Then what is ecology? So I'm also saying what is ecology, right? Then if you're defining about ecology, then you should know about the biotic and the abiotic components, right? Abiotic component. Okay. So yeah. So biotic and abiotic component. So what is biotic component and what is abiotic component, right? Biotic components are nothing but the living component, and abiotic component are the non-living component. So they interact with each other continuously in order to form an ecosystem. So what is biotic component? What are biotic interactions? Like we will discuss about various types of interactions like competition. So here just note the name, that's it. So it's not also introducing the concept, is just I am discussing in order to make you understand, because here we will be discussing about the old question papers also. So you will not understand anything if I'm not, if I'm just simply saying the words and then connecting, because this is environment, right? Specialized subject. That's why. So competition, amensalism, okay. Then mutualism, neutrality. These types of interactions appears, and much more are there. These are biotic interaction. How one organism interact with the another organism. Right, that is called biotic interactions. And abiotic interactions are non-living component. So here, if you see what are the other factors, like sunlight, we can say, then altitude we can call, then air, then soil. So what are the other things which determines, what are the other factors which determines the distribution of life in a particular ecosystem? So these all we call as the abiotic component, right? So like this, we will be defining much more terms than what is Nietzsche, right? So this is a role, it's nothing but the, already asked in UPSC this question and all. So it's nothing but a role of an particular organism in its environment. Similarly, then we can also say there's some other words like adaptation. What is adaptation? All those words which you will study in your forthcoming classes will be here. Then if you see here again, we will study about ecosystem. So what is ecosystem? These are the major topics which you will be given much more concentration, because from this questions are appearing in each and every exams. Like continuously you will get questions from this topics. Okay. So ecosystems. So what are ecosystems? Ecosystems are nothing but it's a biotic community where the organisms interact with, it's a community we can call, okay, where the organisms interact with one another and with its environment. Environment means what? The places where it live, not only the place, the habitat, but also the surrounding areas, the surrounding things which they interact with each other. So this is called ecosystem. And here in the types of ecosystem, you see, this is very important: terrestrial, aquatic, and intermediate, because every year questions appear from this section. At least one or two questions appear from here. So if you see terrestrial ecosystem, so again, what is terrestrial ecosystem? So I'm just clearing all this. Okay, so what is terrestrial ecosystem? The land-based ecosystem. I already told ecosystem is nothing but the biotic interactions. That is, sorry, a community in where the organisms interact with one another and with this environment. That is called ecosystem. So now terrestrial, land-based. So in this, you'll be studying about various kinds of forest, like, you know, tundra, taiga. These are types of forest, taiga, then rainforest, okay, deciduous forest. Like this, we can classify forest into various categories. So here you will study about forest, then grasslands, then deserts. Okay, so when you are studying about ecosystem, this is particularly a terrestrial type of ecosystem. Similarly, aquatic ecosystem. In aquatic ecosystem, you will be again classifying this into two. One is freshwater and another one is marine. Okay, so in this you will be also studying about rivers, lakes, ponds, sea, ocean, all those things. Then intermediate, this is very, very important because UPSC is giving much more focus for this focus to this particular topic. So intermediate is nothing but where the land and water meets. This is called as an intermediate ecosystem. So under this, if you see the wetlands, okay, then coral reef, mangroves are also a form of wetland. All this will be clubbed here under this intermediate types of ecosystems. So here we see then what types of questions are appearing from this particular topic. Previously I told about the terms. In this, if you see, they also ask about what is ecosystem and all. In 2015, a question appeared in UPSC defining what is ecosystem, what is meant by the term ecosystem. Previously, I don't remember the year, but previous year might be in 2013 or 14, this question appeared about niche. What is meant by niche? So they directly asked that. So these are from the terms also. What do you mean by the term niche? What do you mean by the term ecosystem? Like this questions may appear. Then and there it will appear. Okay, frequently you cannot get. But here, this this topic, you will get frequent questions about ecosystems. And specifically, what type of questions appear from this type of topic? They usually ask, I already told the problem area is much more interested by UPSC. So they will ask issues. What are the issues this ecosystem, particularly the forest, this type of forest faces? What are the threat they faces? What are the degraded activity which is causing its destruction of that particular land mass and also this they will ask. Then other way, if you put, we can they will also ask, I already told you cannot separate biodiversity from this particular topic. So what are the endangered, there is a specific body to categorize the particular organisms at the endangered, vulnerable, that and all you'll be studying. So the organisms which is under threat, which is living in the following ecosystem, will also be given importance. Apart from that, the facts related to the particular ecosystem, you have to, when a note is prepared for a particular ecosystem, let me take, for example, about wetlands. Then if you're preparing notes about wetlands, then you have to know all the facts, international and national facts related to wetland, where it is distributed, how much area it is covering. Okay, so in international level as well as in the national level, and what are the areas this wetlands are located, how many wetlands are there, and what are the bodies, what are the bodies which are conserving this wetland, that is protecting this wetland, what are the acts or policies which are framed in order to protect these wetlands, right? Then you should also know about the types of wetlands. So what are the, like salt marshes, salt pans, mangroves, these things. And then apart from that, the adaptations, this is also very important. Questions are focused from this area also, adaptation. So if a plant is living in a particular ecosystem, for example, let us take like desert, already a lot of questions has appeared in UPSC several times. So desert, then what type of adaptation these plants will have in order to inhibit the water loss? They will ask. Suppose if a plant is living in the brackish water, that is mangrove ecosystem, what type of adaptation it will follow in order to survive there? Okay, because this plants has to live in salt water, not only in water but in salt water. So what type of adaptation they will follow? So these types of questions starts appearing from this specific topic. Then if you come apart from this, the intermediate also we have discussed now. So biomes, what are these called as biomes? Biomes are a specific ecosystem we can call, comprising of various habitats, not only single habitat, various forms of habitat. So based on the world 12 major biomes are there, and similarly you should also know about the major biomes of India also. So we'll be classifying it accordingly. Then functions of the ecosystem. So then if you're coming here, the functions of the ecosystems are also important. In that, specifically if you see, you should know about three things where the questions are appearing frequently. Like food chain. What is food chain? Food chain is nothing but you're representing, otherwise we can say like this, it's a linear sequence of organisms. It's a linear sequence of organisms through which the nutrients and energy is flowing from one organism to the other organism when they are consuming the other. Like for example, you can say, for easy understanding, and say like this, right? So let me take like this. This is grass. Grass is eaten by grasshopper, you know, the insect, grasshopper. Okay, now when the grasshopper is eating this grass, what happens? Why this is called food chain. Now I'll complete the food chain. Food chain is a linear sequence of organisms. Okay, like grasshopper is then taken by a bird. We can draw like this, bird. Okay, bird again is taken by snake. So this is a food chain. It's a linear sequence of organisms. Okay. Through which the nutrients and energy is passes from one organism to another. Why we are representing food chain? Here if you see, if this grasshopper is eating this grass, then the nutrients which is present in the grass and the energy, we will represent the energy level also. So the energy which is present in kilocalories is present here in this body will pass to grasshopper. When the grasshopper is taken by bird, then how much energy and how much nutrients it is going to get passed to the bird, from bird to snake. So this is called as food chain. So what types of questions are occurring from this? They're asking to arrange the correct sequence of organisms in a food chain. These types of questions will appear because there are two types of food chain. Now, one is the primary food chain, that is starting from the terrestrial. Right. Another one is a decomposer type of food chain. Suppose this snake is dead. Okay. Now the decomposers come and act on it. Decomposers will take this. Then the decomposers is giving those nutrients back to the plants. So this is how we know there are two forms of food chain. So questions appear like in which order, arrange in the proper sequence the organisms of the particular food chain and all. So this type of questions will occur. Then if you're coming to food web, okay, what is food web? Food web is nothing but the interlinking and overlapping, that is interconnected food chains or overlapped food chains are called as food web. For example, here itself we can say, already we saw a food chain. Again, the grass can also be taken by rabbit. The rabbit can also be consumed by hawk. The hawk can also eat the snake. So this is how interconnection of food chains. Then what is this energy flow? These are functions of ecosystem. So this is the function which is taking place in the ecosystem. Okay, then what is energy flow? Energy flow is nothing but the biogeochemical cycles we call. In the biogeochemical cycles, this is how the energy flows from one level to the other. So what are those cycles? The cycles related to water. Biogeochemical cycles, I don't know, water related cycles. Then carbon, okay, sulfur, phosphorus, nitrogen, we'll call like this. Particularly, this is carbon is given much importance, water also, and nitrogen also, because already question was asked in nitrogen and all, and even in carbon. So which process releases carbon inside the carbon cycle? So like agriculture, some options would be given for you. Agriculture, industries, mentioning some particular industries, they will ask the question. So this type of question will appear for your energy flow. Already many number of times questions was asked from this session. If you see here, next ecological pyramid. This is also a function of ecosystem only. So ecological pyramid is a graphical representation. You are going to represent in a graph about the various energy levels which is existing. Okay. In ecological pyramid, there are three forms of pyramids which are existing. One is pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, then pyramid of, like this we'll, pyramid of number, pyramid of energy. Okay. Pyramid of number, pyramid of energy, and pyramid of biomass. Three forms of pyramids you will be coming across here. Then what is ecological succession? It's nothing but how there are two types of succession, that is primary and the secondary succession. How a vegetation is going to occupy. For example, if you say how we are going to transfer from one level to the other, that is a steady and the gradual change in a species of a given area, I will say, with respect to the changing environment. For example, suppose if the place is very barren, now we call it as a desert type of ecosystem. Then again, now a few grasses starts appearing, then this is called grassland. And then from the grassland, we'll move towards the forest. Like this, it goes on. Okay, so this is primary succession and secondary successions are existing here. And already 3 to 4 times questions appear from this succession area also. So these are the important areas where questions were already framed by UPSC, right? Now, we will see how the old question paper, last 5 years question paper I have taken. If you want, you can further classify the old questions. But in our classes, when we are handling the particular topic, then I will be classifying all the UPSC questions which has appeared from the environmental section under this. Okay, we'll slowly, gradually take it. Now today I'll classify the last 5 years questions here. Okay, so let me clear this. You see here, we'll start with 2019. If you see question appeared like this, that with reference to, so they gave 4 states and then they mentioned that in terms of percentage of forest cover. So I already told this is a terrestrial ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem, forest is a major occupant. So in that, you will study about the forest survey. Specifically, I already told now, all those related to forest you have to study and read. The acts, policies, everything. So forest survey is one such thing. When you're when the forest survey is released, then you'll know which state is having the majority forest cover and all. So you'll prepare accordingly. So this question can be easily attended. Then second, if you see same 2019 only, which of the following national park lies completely in the temperate alpine zone? Some may say this is a geography question, but here if you are again preparing the according to our classification, then you can easily attend this because it's also related to biomes also. So based on that, the temperate alpine zone, which of the national park is nothing but which is coming in the biodiversity, the next section. But I already told there is interlinking. So some question will be directly interlinked like this and asked. So they asked a question, which of the following national park is lying in the temperate alpine zone? Okay. So you can easily answer it. Right. So once when you're preparing for a national park in your biodiversity area, that is your next area, I'll be telling you how you have to prepare it and all. You have to make a tabular column that we will do in our classes. Rest, if you don't want to follow the classes also, you can make on your own. For that also, I'll give some ideas for you. Right. Now come here. We'll move to the next slide. Okay. In 2018, what type of questions appeared? Right. See here. Which of the following are the possible consequences of heavy sand mining in riverbed? Riverbed, again, if you see, this is from the aquatic ecosystem. See, aquatic ecosystem. I already said threats and problems will be given importance, degradation related threats. So, riverbed, there is sand mining. It's a very huge problem which is occurring then and there. Because of this only encroachment, flash floods. You might also know about the flash flood question which was asked in which occurred in Kerala. This also appeared in your exams also, like Kallakadal and all. So what is the reason? Because mining which is happening in the riverbed. We are encroaching the river area. River is coming, then the river comes and encroaches us, right? This is what which is happening. So here, if you see what are the consequences of heavy sand mining, then definitely when you are reading about a particular thread, then you will also know, suppose this is happening, suppose this activity is happening, what are the consequences of that activity, right? That also you will study. Then again, if we come 2018, there was a question, which of the following leaf modification occur in desert area to inhibit water loss? I already told. So this is nothing but the terrestrial ecosystem question. And I also said adaptation related question will appear. Adaptation related question. So this is adaptation related question, right? Then we'll further move to the next slide. Again in 2018 only. So what type of questions appeared? See here. Most of the world coral reef. So coral reefs related question, facts related to coral reef. I already told international and national related facts, territories of Australia and all, they ask like this, So this is nothing but intermediate ecosystem. Again, question appeared. See, continuously every year, at least 1 or 2 questions you will get from this area. So specifically, now you can understand now coral reef related question here. Then which of the following have shrunk immensely or dried up in the recent past due to human activity? So a threat which is faced by the seas Again, aquatic ecosystem related question, the threats faced by. So it appeared in the newspapers. Again, one thing I bring to your notice, I want to bring to your notice is that whenever you're preparing for your environment, always have a current touch. When you're reading in your current newspapers, when you're following your newspapers, definitely you will able to answer most of the questions which appears from your environmental section. Because both, I already told, the world and national news related to environment is equally important. And not every news. That's why I'm already again saying it. So there are specific areas which has to be given importance. Again, I told you that. So this appeared in 2018. Then see, we'll move to the next slide. In 2015. Okay, 2017 and 16 not specific questions from this area, but 2015, if you see, which of the following national park is unique in being a swamp? Swamp is nothing but the intermediate type of ecosystem, that is nothing a mangroves, intermediate ecosystems. Okay, so with the wetlands, they are nothing but wetlands, right? Intermediate. So with the floating vegetation and that supports a rich biodiversity. Whenever you are doing I already told, when you are doing a biodiversity area, how you have to prepare for national park, I will tell you. I told you, na? So when you're classifying that national parks, you should know what is the unique speciality about this particular national park, which area it is lying. So these types of questions will appear. What are the rivers which are flowing? What are the organisms which are endangered living in this particular national park? Okay, like this, you have to prepare it. And what are the mountains which are located inside this national parks, and where it is this specific national parks are located? These types of questions will appear. And again, in 2015, if we see which one of the following region of India is a combination of mangrove forest, evergreen forest, and deciduous forest. Again, I said forest, terrestrial and intermediate, both intermediate combined here. So which area it is? So you have to answer accordingly. Again, we'll move to the next one. Again, in 2015. So already two questions appeared from this area, interlinking your biodiversity also. See here. Next, they have given 3 states, and then they asked which of the above states do tropical wet evergreen forest occur, terrestrial ecosystem. Then in India, which of the following types of forest is teak, a dominant tree species? I already told, when you are preparing for a particular ecosystem, you should know which of the species is dominant here, which of the species is threatened here, which of the species is in the extinct situation and all. So teak, a dominant tree species. In which of the forests, you should know that also. Definitely you can answer this. And here also you can see, I already told this types of forest where it is occurring, tropical alpine forest. So which are the states having those forests and all, you'll be doing. And it is also in the forest survey. If you are studying that also, you can understand. Move to the next slide. There is a last slide. In the environmental ecology, in 2015 only, again, see 5 questions are almost appear from this section. Which of the following is the best description of the term ecosystem? I already told. Direct question from the terms associated. So this is how the questions appear. And even after 2015, before 2015 also we will discuss in our regular classes, okay, not in the strategy discussion. So next, that is the biodiversity and climate change, blah blah. We'll do it in our forthcoming strategy discussion classes. So until that, you can watch this, and if you have any doubt also, you can approach me. So this is my number, so you can approach me anytime for your doubt clarification related to environment. So keep watching and stay tuned. Thank you so much.